sun directly behind the planet Nibiru. This is the sun directly behind it. There are 3 planets that I've seen. It's one to the right and one to the left. Those are smaller, but this one is huge. This is directly behind the sun. When this moves to the left or right, you'll see what someone took video footage of in Florida. There it is to the left, right there. See, now notice where the video was in the beginning, when it was directly in front of the sun. I mean, right directly in front of the sun. Now it is to the left of the sun, and you can see it clearly. You can see that reflection clearly that this is not a sundog. Now let's put them together in photos. Now this is separate, pointing to the reflection of Planet X, Nibiru. Now I joined it together. I pulled this over to that. Now you can see, no sundog here. That is the planet directly in front of the Planet X. This tremendous, huge planet that's coming down. Now, there it is, by itself. What do you see? Sundog? Halo? No. And you're gonna notice something when I play that video again, that halo, that supposedly sundog, has a cloud around it. Now this is that same picture darkened up. Now we darkened it, and you would swear, I mean, this is just a picture, a photograph. You just took the sun and put it right in front of that cloud. That's that same cloud. And now we're gonna play that video again, and I want you to look at it. In order to see this, you would have to just open up your eyes and want to see that cloud that you just saw. Now you're seeing that cloud behind the sun. It's not a reflection. It's not just a reflection. It ain't just a rainbow. You see a cloud. Now you can see the regular clouds in the sky around it, but what rainbow has a cloud around it? Now clearly look at that. That's a cloud around that planet, and everyone knows that who wants to know. You can run, you could hide, you can play games, you could try to deceive, you stupid government, but we know what's out there and we're looking at it, and you cannot say a rainbow is a damn cloud. That is the cloud around that sun. And just as I did before, I put a flashlight on a box, put a roll of tape signifying that planet, and then I put a light behind that and turned off the lights. And guess what we saw, folks? Bam, there it is, your sun halo. There it is again. There's your sun, there's the light. We put the flashlight right there, bam, as signifying the sun, and you have the same thing, what they call a sun halo. Bam, it's all in your face. If you want to see, you can see it. If you want to see it, look to the left and you can see the sun halo, and look to the right and you can see the flashlight. And no, I'm not perfectly shining the light on there, but I'm giving you enough so you can see that that is the same thing that you're looking at. That big spot in the sky is a tremendous planet coming down, and we are finished. We are finished. You can keep playing games all you want, but we are finished. And no, I'm not done with your dog asses. There is a light in the sky, and this right here, folks, is before the sunrise. Look at that tremendous light in the sky over the city. It's before the sun rises. You see this light. It's already there in the sky. It's already there. When this planet actually shows up, you're gonna be in big trouble. Men's heart will fail them for fear, out of fear. What is heart failure? Heart attack. Heart attack. Attack. Heart attack. Out of fear. Well, allow me to point it out. Here it is, another city, right in your faces, before the sun comes up. Right here, the sun, this planet is already up right there. You seeing a huge, tremendous light over your city before your sun comes up. In your faces. Up, there it goes again. Over another city. Before the sun comes up, that planet is up. And at a distance, look how bright it is. Right over the city, but you see no sun in the sky. Let's look at some more. Ooh, yet another city. That right there is where the sun is coming up, and that right there is where that planet is going to be coming up. Always to the left of the sun, the huge, tremendous planet. Now, let's get this tape rolling. Let's look at what we're seeing. There it is. This is what we're seeing, folks. Look at that, right there. And look how big that is. If you see something that big in the sky, when it absolutely shows itself, oh, that's heart attack zone, folks. That's heart attack. And look, the sun hasn't risen yet, but this planet has risen. And you know what else? I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You wanna know a little secret? That planet right there is finna rise from the west. That planet right there is finna rise from the west. Wonder where we heard that at before. That planet right there is finna rise from the west. And look at the sun right there. In comparison, it don't even compare. It don't even compare, folks. Look at it. It don't compare to that planet. I mean, this is tremendously huge, and it's out there waiting for you, but it's waiting for you. What we're calling Nibiru is just a moon, I believe. What we're calling Nibiru is a moon. The real planet is shortly to come, and that's what's behind the sun. So you can continue to have faith in the fake news, continue to have faith in the fake news, or you could join the people who open their eyes and actually see for yourself. Why should one man tell you what you're looking at? Why? Why do we keep listening to a false source, that's deceiving us? Why don't we see for ourselves? Why don't we make comparisons for ourselves? I use my brain. Why don't you use yours? That's where the planet is. It's right there. It's coming up, and it's huge. It's tremendous, and it's something that's it right there, right in your faces. And this is not the sun. And while we're looking at how the sun is going to rise from the west, and that's our reflection again of the planet, but how it's going to rise from the west, I'm going to let you in on something else about these scoffers. They're demons. Demons. They're demons in people, and they're demons online using the internet to come and make this look like hogwash. And I'm going to tell you how they're doing that. Every 30 minutes, see, I'm very attentive. I don't miss nothing. I analyze everything. They come to the page, and what do they do on the page? Every 30 minutes, they put a dumb comment. Oh, this is just a reflection of the sun. Nothing to worry, folks. And then someone else has come. This guy is crazy. And then somebody else comes and said, I've seen this before. It's just a reflection off of the cameras and this and that. And then somebody else says, well, you Bible thumpers, you keep coming around here trying to tell us something. Get out of here with that religion. It's old, it's ancient. It doesn't fit in modern times. And then somebody else comes and says, nigger. And then somebody else comes and says, that's a sun halo. It's been proven. And then somebody else comes, and then what are they doing? When you look at the page, at the comments, before you watch the videos, after they thumbs down everything, then only thing you're going to see is negative, 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 and it make you not even want to watch the video because so many people's putting negative comments that you say, this video is stupid, before you even watch it. And that is the purpose of the scoffer, to discredit the video before you even watch it. By what? Negative comments, because they influence the minds of the people. If you see many thumbs down and you see negative comments all over the place, the likelihood of you watching that video is zero, and they're in your minds and they know that. and they drive me crazy. And what I do is hide this user from this channel. Why? Why am I hiding them? Let them keep coming, because they're going to come every 30 minutes and put another comment on it. This is their whole entire life, is to keep you in the dark until it's too late and you burning in hell. Because their whole life is to get you in hell, to make it a hell on earth. And they have made it a hell on earth. And now God is on his way, and they're going to hide God from you. And you're going to allow them to hide God from you. If I were you, I wouldn't allow them to do such a thing. This is real. This planet is going to rise from the west. I don't care what anyone says. And this is an actual planet. This is coming up before the sun comes up, to show you. This is God saying, I am real. I'm in your face. I'm on my way. I'm giving you a chance to get your act together, and you need to get your act together as fast as you can, as quickly as you can. Raptor News, and this is real. Don't let the comments or the scoffers detour you.
Still can change the outcome, but it is very unlikely now.
Well, the question was, if Iran were to launch a nuclear attack on Israel, what would our response be? And I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. And I want them to understand that, because it does mean that they have to look very carefully at their society. Because whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
Scenario 1, World War III. Hillary Clinton is quite possibly the most corrupt and evil person to ever run for President of the United States. Previous title holders were Lyndon B. Johnston, the man that quarterbacked the JFK assassination, and Dick Cheney, the man that quarterbacked 9/11. But these guys look like Boy Scouts compared to what Hillary has in mind. Anyway, if Hillary gets elected, then she will start World War III, no question about it. The system of bankers and global interests she works for want World War III. War is a banker's dream. They make a lot of money no matter who wins. These people are hardcore psychopaths. They have no empathy for any other human except their own family, and even then, some of them get killed if they don't play ball. Read my second book for the whole story, and it will shock you. They want a war with Russia and China, and for the last 12 months, they have been doing everything they can to provoke those countries. They need Russia or China to shoot first. That way, they can justify a world war, and the sheeple will support it. But if those countries won't come to the party, they have armed and trained North Korea with a nuclear weapon as Plan B. If Russia or China don't fire first, they will get North Korea to do it in a false flag nuclear attack, or maybe a dirty bomb attack, on a major US city. They hope that the loss of hundreds of thousands of American lives will spur that nation and its allies into full-blown world war. Again, as I point out in my second book, they want to fulfill the playbook of their guru, Albert Pike, who was a 33-degree Freemason, a Satanist, and founding member of the Ku Klux Klan. Pike spoke how they will create 3 world wars. The first and second were exactly as he said that they would be, so there is no reason to doubt that the third will follow his game plan. After 10 years or so of this total world war, the people will grow weary. So when that time comes, the New World Order people will hold secret meetings with their enemy, China. They will promise China a backdoor deal to end the war. But to do so, China must stab their ally Russia in the back. In exchange, there will be an armistice. China will be given complete control of the Asia-Pacific, including Australia, Japan, and New Zealand. Russia will be obliterated, fulfilling Nathan Rothschild's wish. The New World Order will control the rest of the world. All countries will live under a communist regime most resembling neo-feudalism. That is, a world of the very wealthy and the very poor, no middle class. The only reason why this has not already happened is because of one man, Vladimir Putin. Regardless of what you think you know about Putin, he is humanity's only hope of avoiding World War III and defeating the Illuminati New World Order. That is why the mainstream media are demonizing him. Trust me, when the media turn on someone, it is usually to turn public opinion against them, because that person represents a threat to the establishment. Now, here is the big curveball. Mr. Obama does not want to give up his cushy life in the White House. So he may use a false flag or the upcoming earth changes to suspend the elections indefinitely. So chances are there will not even be an election in 2016, and Obama will be America's last president, and that is not set in stone just yet. But for the record, Obama is a card-carrying, die-in-the-wall communist. He honestly believes he would make a great, benevolent dictator. Read the book Animal Farm to see how that works out. Scenario 2. Islamic Caliphate. On the 13th of May 1981, there was an assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II in St. Peter's Square at Vatican City. The Pope was shot and wounded by a Turkish hitman, Mehmet Ali Akkar. The Pope was struck 4 times and suffered severe blood loss. Akkar was apprehended immediately and later sentenced to life in prison by an Italian court. The Pope later forgave him for the assassination attempt. He was pardoned then by President Carlo Ciampi at the Pope's request and was deported to Turkey in June 2000. Akkar published his autobiography in Italy in 2013. His book is called I Was Promised Paradise. He claims that he worked for an Islamic black magic cult. The Grey Wolves invoke jinns, otherwise known as demons. That group has since morphed into ISIS. They have a prophecy that their Messiah, the Mahdi, will bring about the destruction of the West and Christianity. In fact, Akkar says in his book, basically, it's really as if the world finishes in favour of a new era. Go into any mosque around the world, listen to what they say about the return of the Mahdi. They all say the same thing. Soon, very soon indeed, he is arriving. What does this mean? That a part of Islam is sharpening their weapons. The return of the Mahdi will bring bloodshed. If the Mahdi will not manifest himself, their will materialize him. And in short, the Islamic fundamentalist will set fire to the whole Western world. So basically, this band of evil men hope to use black magic to invoke a powerful dark entity that they call the Mahdi. On the date 13 May 2017, the Islamicists plan to unleash hell onto the Western world. That is why they have been slowly positioning their people into every Western country on the planet. The refugee crisis in Europe is the last stage of positioning the chess pieces. It is their specific intention to destroy the Vatican in Rome. Pope John Paul II strongly believed that this was the third prophecy of Fatima. The prophecy of Fatima was given to the world on May 13, 1917. The first two prophecies were released almost immediately. However, the third prophecy was supposed to be released to the world in the 1960s, but for some reason it was kept sealed. On May 13, 1981, on the anniversary of the original prophecy of Fatima, Pope John Paul II was en route to St. Peter's Square to deliver the third and final prophecy. He was adamant that the people deserved to know what it contained. Before he could reveal the prophecy, however, he was shot down by Muhammad Ali Atkar. The Grey Wolves, now ISIS, did not want their plans revealed to the world. The third prophecy of Fatima contains their plans to destroy the Vatican and the Western world, and they want to do it on a special date of May 13, 2017. Many of the Vatican cardinals have secretly converted to Islam in hope to save their skins when the time of destruction comes. They want to be part of the New World Order One Religion. A new Vatican II is under construction. It is called the Temple of the Work of the Holy Spirit, and it is located in Palestrina, just outside Rome. Its design was strongly influenced by the ancient sacred site at Göbekli Tepe, discovered in 1996. The Göbekli Tepe site was originally part of the Brotherhood of the Serpent, which I talk about in Book 1, connected to the priest class that became the Illuminati. This new temple is supposed to be for the one world religion and will begin after the destruction of the Vatican. Notice how the inside looks like a mosque where followers kneel on their mats to worship. Construction is expected to be completed in 2019. Scenario 3. The return of Nibiru. I cover everything you need to know about Nibiru and its inhabitants in my first book, The Truth Chronicles, Book 1, Secrets of the Soul. However, here is a quick background. There is a planet that the ancients called Nibiru. NASA calls it Planet X. It's about 4.5 to 5 times the size of Earth. It belongs to a small solar system whose star is a dwarf star known as Nemesis. All up, the Nemesis system has 7 planets, and Nibiru is its largest and is the only one that's inhabited by beings called the Anunnaki. It has a dusty red atmosphere that creates wings on each side, so the ancients always depicted Nibiru as a winged disk. Nibiru passes the Earth around every 3,500 years or so. Sometimes it comes close, and sometimes it comes really close. The last time it came really close, it stripped the atmosphere of Mars, sending all of the Martian oceans into space. The Anunnaki that were based there had to evacuate and come to Earth. On Earth, it caused the Antarctic ice sheet in the south to break off, causing a global tsunami that the Bible refers to as the Flood of Noah. This flood and ensuing cataclysm was documented by dozens of native peoples all over the world. The Anunnaki monitored this whole episode from a satellite they put into orbit. This satellite is still in orbit and is now known as the Black Knight satellite. As Nibiru approaches Earth, the gravitational forces begin to make their presence known. The much stronger gravity of Nibiru begins to heat up the Earth's core. Between the Earth's core and the outer layer, known as the crust, is an area called the mantle. The mantle is the most solid bulk of Earth's interior. It lies between Earth's dense superheated core and its thin outer layer, the crust. The mantle is about 2,900 kilometres or 1,802 miles thick and makes up a whopping 84% of the Earth's total volume. As Nibiru approaches, the mantle becomes superheated. This increases its viscosity until it becomes liquefied. As this happens, more and more volcanoes begin to become active. Earthquakes start to happen everywhere. Coral in the oceans becomes bleached, and the weather patterns become severe and unpredictable. All of these events are referred to as Earth changes. In April 2016, the Earth changes became undeniable. A video put out by SOTT, or Sign of the Times, details each day of April and what Earth changes happened on each day. When you see this, you will be left in no doubt that the countdown has begun.
Overnight, blizzard-like conditions in Massachusetts. Nearly 1,900 crew working through the night, clearing roads. Treacherous conditions leading to wreck after wreck. In upstate New York, a bus carrying 36 college students flipping over and winding up upside down. Incredibly, there were no serious injuries. And in Connecticut, a tractor trailer sliding and jackknifing on this bridge. New Jersey police releasing this dramatic dash cam video. Trees snapping from heavy winds.
In northern Pakistan, flash floods triggered by heavy rain have killed at least 55 people. An emergency operation has been launched to help thousands of survivors, dozens of whom have been cut off by a landslide in a mountain valley. Some 150 homes are said to have been destroyed.
These earth changes are what I was told about 20 years ago, and they are happening right now. In April 2016, there were daily events for the whole month. These included volcanoes erupting, and even some that have not been active for over 70 years. Earthquakes shook many countries, wild weather was everywhere, it even snowed in Saudi Arabia. And of course, scientists revealed that 90% of the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia is now bleached, exactly as I spoke about 20 years ago. Back then, I correctly predicted that the signs would become more obvious after 2012, leading up to 2020. But I must admit now that it appears I got that timing slightly wrong. I now have good evidence that it will come much earlier than 2020. Earthquakes, volcanoes and wild weather will only get worse as Nibiru approaches. However, the real showstopper comes next: meteorites. Nibiru passes through the Kuiper Belt, which is made up of billions of asteroids and chunks of ice. Some of these objects are as large as Pluto, while others are only the size of a pea. It will also pass through the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. As Nibiru passes through the Kuiper Belt and the asteroid belt, it drags millions of rocks and debris with it, trailing millions of kilometres behind it. As it approaches the Earth, many of the asteroids will be pulled toward the Earth due to gravity. So as a final sign of Nibiru's approach, we will witness mass meteorite showers. However, some of these meteors can weigh as much as 30 kilograms or 65 pounds of solid iron. So when they fall from space and hit the ground, they will explode. It would be like being in the middle of a World War I artillery barrage. There could be as much as 1 month of these meteor showers, but they will vary in intensity and in size and duration. Some days will be worse than others. A CIA insider has come forward and revealed that they have been tracking the Nemesis system since the They now know it will swing by very, very close to Earth this time, within about 50 million kilometres. Now, that's like a stone's throw in astrological terms. This is going to cause a pole shift. Remember how we said the mantle will heat up and become liquid? This will cause the outer crust of the Earth to slip. As Nibiru passes at its closest point, the Earth crust will slip in the direction of Nibiru's gravitational pull. Thus, we can expect the slip will be from the South Pole to the North Pole. So all the landmass of Earth will move at about 1,400 kilometres per second, or 0.86 miles per second, south to north, then abruptly stop. The sudden stop will cause all of the oceans to slosh up, then go back in the opposite direction they came from. That will create a global tsunami of about 700 metres to 3,000 metres high, or 2,296 feet to 9,850 feet high, travelling at 700 metres or half a mile a second. The water will slosh back and forth for several days. In fact, as Nibiru passes, it will stop the Earth's rotation. So one side of the Earth will be in complete darkness for 3 days, and the other side will be in complete sunlight for 3 days. As Nibiru passes, the Earth will begin to rotate again as per normal. Basically, the Earth is going through a very rare process that will see most of the inhabitants of the planet die as a result of massive Earth changes. It is not the first time this has happened, and it will not be the last. The ancients knew that, and they tried to warn us. That is why they built their monuments in massive stone blocks. The reason why so many will die is because they do not want to know. They do not want to listen. They do not want to be part of one of the most exciting times in this planet's history, the ascension. Humans were given a choice, and they chose fear. We all live in a kleptocracy now. It is a term applied to a government that is in bed with the ruling class, in this case corporations, taking advantage of corruption to extend their personal wealth and political power. Corporate lawyers now write all of our legislation. They write the laws to benefit the corporations, protect them from prosecution, and maximise the ability to make a profit, even at the expense of the people and the environment. This is the world we live in, and most people are happy to turn a blind eye. That is how they got into control in the first place. The world is now so far gone down the corruption path, the self-entitlement mentality path, the selfishness path, the apathy path, and the willful ignorance path that there is no way to bring it back. But not everyone on earth will die.
That is the cloud around that sun. And just as I did before, I put a flashlight on a box, put a roll of tape signifying that planet, and then I put a light behind that and turned off the lights. And guess what we saw, folks? Bam, there it is, your sun halo. There it is again. There's your sun, there's the light. We put the flashlight right there, bam, as signifying the sun, and you have the same thing, what they call a sun halo. Bam, it's all in your face. If you want to see, you could see it. If you want to see it, look to the left and you can see the sun halo, and look to the right and you can see the flashlight. And no, I'm not perfectly shining the light on there, but I'm giving you enough so you can see that that is the same thing that you're looking at. That big spot in the sky is a tremendous planet coming down, and we are finished. We are finished. You can keep playing games all you want, but we are finished. And no, I'm not done with your dog asses. There is a light in the sky, and this right here, folks, is before the sunrise. Look at that tremendous light in the sky over the city. It's before the sun rises. You see this light. It's already there in the sky. It's already there. When this planet actually shows up, you're going to be in big trouble. Men's heart will fail them for fear. Out of fear. What is heart failure? Heart attack. Heart attack. Attack. Heart attack. Out of fear. Now this is separate, pointing to the reflection of Planet X, Nibiru. Now I joined it together. I pulled this over to that. Now you can see, no sundog here. That is the planet directly in front of the Planet X. This tremendous, huge planet that's coming down. Now, there it is, by itself. What do you see? Sundog? Halo? No. And you're going to notice something when I play that video again, that halo, that supposedly sundog, has a cloud around it. Now this is that same picture darkened up. Now we darkened it, and you would swear, I mean, this is just a picture, a photograph. You just took the sun and put it sun directly behind the planet Nibiru. This is the sun directly behind it. There are 3 planets that I've seen. It's one to the right and one to the left. Those are smaller, but this one is huge. This is directly behind the sun. When this moves to the left or right, you'll see what someone took video footage of in Florida. There it is to the left, right there. See, now notice where the video was in the beginning, when it was directly in front of the sun. I mean, right directly in front of the sun. Now it is to the left of the sun, and you can see it clearly. You can see that reflection clearly that this is not a sundog. Now let's put them together in photos. Right in front of that cloud, that's that same cloud. And now we're gonna play that video again, and I want you to look at it. In order to see this, you would have to just open up your eyes and want to see that cloud that you just saw. Now you're seeing that cloud behind the sun. It's not a reflection. It's not just a reflection. It ain't just a rainbow. You see a cloud. Now you can see the regular clouds in the sky around it, but what rainbow has a cloud around it? Now clearly look at that. That's a cloud around that planet, and everyone knows that who wants to know. You can run, you could hide, you can play games, you could try to deceive, you stupid government, but we know what's out there and we're looking at it, and you cannot say a rainbow is a damn cloud.